Welcome back. So far we have discussed on present values, future values, and at which situation we will be doing the discounting, which situation we will be calculate using geometric expressions and so forth. So now let's focus on calculating present values using formulas for annuities and perpetuities. It's a very important theory in your CA level. Annuities and perpetuities relate to also single cash flows and not regular payments. Remember that. So I will explain you all throughout what annuities and perpetuity means and what are the calculation methods to arrive at the figures, but this is a very short chapter. And as you could see, I have made it chapter 4 for this lecture because I did the 5th chapter as the second chapter. So that's why I've made it number 4 over here. Okay, so you all can take out your tools and go through while I explain. Okay, first we should know what is annuity. Annuity means a fixed annual sum of money received or paid for a number of years. That is called annuity. Perpetuity means a fixed annual amount of money received or paid forever. Now that's the thing you must remember. Okay, so annuity, if we are to write fixed annual amount, for a number of years, whereas perpetuity means fixed annual amount, same amount, like same nature, but received or paid forever. Forever. These are the key difference. Actually, this is the key difference between an annuity and a perpetuity. So for your exam, please, so they might ask you, a particular cash flow is received, for example, 1000 rupees is received for 10 years. Calculate the present value. Then that you first have to identify whether that cash flow is an annuity or perpetuity. If it's given that this is received only up to a certain period of time, that's called an annuity. In this case, 10 years. But if they mention we will be receiving 1000 rupees forever, then you have to conclude it as a perpetuity. Alright, so what you should know is in this chapter there's a different calculation for annuity and a different calculation for perpetuity when it comes to present values. So that's the main reason it's important for you to know the difference of an annuity and a perpetuity and how to identify them. Okay, so as we go through the tute, let's read on. Present values we learnt involves discounting future values using discount factor. Yes, present values we discounted using a discount factor as discussed previously, right? But when it comes to present values of annuities, you have to use the annuity factor. Annuity factor you can obtain through a formula or from the annuity factor table, not from the discount table. This is another table. So you should be careful as to which item you pick. Okay. So let's go through the example given. So they say a person receives 500 in annuity every year, earning 10% interest per annum for 8 years. So they have mentioned that this is an annuity payment, and also they've given the hint that it is for only up to 8 years. Only up to 8 years means it's called an annuity because it's for a fixed period of time. So what will be the investment value at the end of the years? That means at the end of the investment period. Okay, so as we learnt in discounting, you will write what we did. We put year and we put, so this investment period is 8 years. So we'll have to write 1, 2, 3, 4 up to 8. Sorry, 6, 1, 8. And then you take your cash flows. 500. So each year we receive 500. So you write it like that. Okay. Now you will take your discount factor as we learned before. Remember, it is the same thing only, like what we did previously, it's the same thing. I'll show you why we use separately an annuity factor instead of going with discount factor. Alright, so the first year the discount factor for 10% if you calculate, so discount factor formula is 1 over 1 plus r to the power n. Okay, so it will be 0.909, 0.826, 0.751 for the third year and 0.683 for the fourth year and so on. So, but this is time consuming. You have to now, this is, in this case it's 8 years, but what if it's 25 years? It's really time consuming. Because of that reason, we can take our total now per year's investment value, multiply by the total of the discount factor. The total of discount factors. That means these. The total of these is called annuity factor. Annuity factor from years 1 to 8. Alright, so the addition of all the discount factors is called annuity factor. So if you, if I am to write it more clearly, if I'll write it here, annuity factor, at year 1 it will be 0.909. At year 2 it will be the addition of these two, which is 1.735. And at year 3 it will be the addition of these three. Okay. 2.486. Then fourth year, so on. From year 1 to all the years only it will consider during addition. Okay. So this, okay, and how you write the year is, so this is for year 1, this is for year 1 to 2, this year 1 to 3, this one year 1 to 4. Like, so you have to remember that these annuity factors represent starting from year 1. That's the main thing that must be remembered. Apart from that, you should remember that the addition of these discount factors is the annuity factor, but you don't have to remember like that for the exam. There's a formula given for you to calculate the annuity factor directly, but in a more practical sense, it is the addition of the discount factors also from year 1 onwards. Remember that year 1 to year any particular year, it's very important to remember that, because that's a key thing to relate to when it comes to the third section of this tutorial. Alright, okay. So therefore, let me show, so the formula, okay. The formula for annuity factor is, now they have created a formula which is 1 divided by r multiplied by 1 minus 1 over 1 plus r to the power n. This is the annuity factor formula. Accordingly, if we apply 10% into this formula, okay, so r will be 10% in this case, in this example, and n will be the number of years we are looking at to calculate the annuity factor, which will be 8 years. So put 8 and now calculate your annuity factor, which will be 1 divided by 10% multiplied by 1 minus 1 over 1 plus 10% to the power 8. Your answer, therefore, if you calculate that way, you get an answer of 5.335. This 5.335 was only the addition of all the discount factors from year 1 to year 8. So it will be 5.335. Now get your present value. 2667.5. Remember, we can round off to 1 decimal place. So it will be your first lesson, recall 2668, because this is greater than 5, therefore add 1 here. Okay, so your future value or value of investment at the end of year 8 will be 2668. Okay, with that, let's go to the next. Alright, so in the next sentence I mentioned how you could present this annuity present value calculation in the exam, because there's an exam format. This is to just let you understand. Alright, so let's focus on what the exam wants you to calculate and do, but anyway you have MCQ questions, so even the format doesn't matter. But better you should know, because they are tested in the next subjects of your CA curriculum, so it's good to have an understanding of what it is. Okay. Alright. Okay. So your format will be year, which is 1 to 8. You should write 1 to 8. No need to write 1, 2, 3, 4 downwards. Straight away you can take 1 to 8, because you might understand, because we are taking the total of the annuity factor for 8 years. So don't have to write like that. And put your cash flow per year. So you write annual cash flow, which is 500. And then annuity factor annuity factor at 10%, which is at 10%, maybe put a slash and say 8 years, so that you know which year also, because both decides the annuity factor total. So it will be 5.335 as we calculated. Next, your present value, 2668. So calculate, multiply these two and get your final answer. As a result, your formula for present value of annuities will be annual cash flow, that means yearly cash flow, okay? Annual cash flow multiplied by annuity factor. Annuity factor for n number of years. That means for the given period of years, that means for the, we would say for the investment period, right, or investment period. Present value of annuity is equals annual cash flow multiplied by annuity factor for the investment period or the given number of years. Alright, let's do the second example. A man expects to receive 1000 rupees at 10% interest in each of the 9-year period, with first receipt starting from the 4th year. Okay. So now this example relates to a different situation called the second situation, where present value of annuity is to be found when cash flow does not start in year 1. That's why I said remember which year the cash flow starts, and the annuity factor always are calculated from year 1. Alright, so remember, keep that in mind, and let's attempt this question. So the same format you can put for example 2. You'll have the year, annual cash flow, annuity factor, %, 8 years. And oh sorry, not 8 years. Okay, for 9-year period, okay. And then the present value. Okay, so this person will receive starting from the 4th year. So your 4th year only must be the first number, number 4. And they said they will receive for a 9-year period. 9-year period means from 4 you have to calculate what is 9 years. So it will be 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So you have to add 9 years to 4 and get the final end year, which is 12. Alright, so yeah, so let me mention it here, 4 plus 9. The annual cash flow, they have mentioned 1000. Okay, annuity factor. Now this is really interesting. Okay, so if you see, your annuity factor usually is distributed from the year 1 to 12, isn't it? Now in this case up to 12 years, so it will be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. From this, they are starting to get cash flow from year 4, which means from this point until year 12. Okay. So, first of all, as annuity factors, they are given always starting from year 1. So, you take the annuity factor from year 1 to year 12. That means this part. Okay. Year 1 to year 12 at 10% is 6.814 if you use your annuity factor table, okay, and even the formula, anything, use the table or the formula that we did previously, it will be 6.814. Then we need for the period 4 to 12. Out of 1 to 12, if we minus 1 to 3's annuity factor, will we not get 4 to 12? We will get annuity factor for years 4 to 12. So that's why they say less 1 to year 3's annuity factor at 10%, which is 2.487. Again, from your table or formula you can get, and then get your final annuity factor balance, which is the difference 4.327, and this is the annuity factor for year 4 to year 12. Okay, the annuity factor. This one. So first of all you have to identify what is the total investment period of my investment. Then you identify the starting year of my cash flow. Then first, so if the starting year is from 4th year, then what is, I have to take first of all from the first year to the end of my investment period's annuity factor. Then I'll have to take off the annuity factor from the year before I received my first cash flow. Likewise, develop an understanding, and that is how you identify your years 1 to 12 less 1 to 3, then you will get the answer for years 4 to 12. Alright, and then so 4.327 is the answer, so it will be 4.327. So this is a 9-year period ending in year 12, because anyway we are not receiving cash flows for 12 years, no. We are receiving cash flows for only 9 years. That's why I mentioned 9-year period, but ending in year 12. And then multiply. So you could simply move your decimal place, no need to use the calculator. If you all have done, in school you all must have learned. So you go 1, 2, 3. So it will be 4,327 when you multiply by 1000. Alright, so it is multiplied, but don't show the figure. But anyway, you are not requested to show tables, so that won't be an issue. But in a table you don't show the signs, right? Okay, so with that, we finish present value of annuities when cash flow does not start in year 1 as well. Alright, so it's very easy, like you can quickly just remember the meaning of everything. That's how we have to learn. If not, it will be confusing because they might they might trick you around here. So they might give you different years, 4 to 12, and then you know, from 12 to another year, different cash flow. They might trick you. So when doing practice questions, we'll come across those. But for now, remember your annuity factor and the methods to calculate it. Remember, you can use your annuity factor table or you can use the annuity factor formula. Okay. So, and another thing, remember your annuity factor table is up to a maximum of 10% and 20 years. So, if they give in the question asking for a 12% interest rate, then you cannot use your annuity factor table. Then you have to use the annuity factor formula. Okay, and if they give the annuity of annual cash flow received at 10% for 25 years, that also you cannot use the annuity factor table because the table is given only up to 20 years. You can use only up to 20, you cannot go beyond 20, which in that case you have to use your annuity factor formula. Alright, with that being said, yeah. Okay, so I have given a scenario of how to calculate using formula. Then now we directly took these two figures using the table, which is you know, 10% at the 12th year row. Let's see how we can apply a formula. Let me erase this part out. So, first annuity factor from year 1 to 12 at 10% and then less from year where I have to remove 1 to 3. Then only I can get 4 to 12. So, 1 to 10, the formula is 1 divided by r multiplied by 1 minus 1 over 1 plus r to the power n, which is equal to 1 over 10%, 1 minus 1 over 1 plus 10% to the power 12. Okay. If you calculate using the calculator, you will get, let me write it here, 6.81369. Okay, so I will round it to 3 decimal places, which is 6.814. And then this 1 over r, 1 minus 1 over 1 plus r to the power n again is equal to 1 over 10%, 1 minus 1 over 1 plus 10% to the power, it's ending in year 3, so it should be 3. If you calculate, your answer will be 2.4868. Round it to 3 decimal places. I mean anything, but safe is 3 decimal place. Okay, if not, so that you can avoid rounding errors at the end. Yeah. So with that, we finish off present values for annuity.